No listening. If you're under 18, this is not for children, okay? I'm tired of not being able to walk past preschools. Hashtag sex offender by accident. Don't poop in a sandbox. No listening. If you're under 18, thank you.
Niños, escuchen estas palabras mientras que salen de mis labios aprietos. El siguiente programa, aunque esto sea muy divertido para toda la gente, no es para los niños. Como un burro que busca agua fría, un balde, y eso le va a dar toda la satisfacción que necesita, esta agua no es para ustedes. Por favor, vayan donde sus padres. Ayúdelos a limpiar los baños. No vayan a escuchar esto. Es muy importante. Que Dios nos bendiga a los Estados Unidos. Gracias.
Brian McCarthy interview show. Adam is now drinking his Coke. Disco. Listen to that beat. Breaking it down in Uptown. Take your hand and touch it. Touch it. Now rub it. Brian McCarthy interview show. Listen to that beat. Touch it. Now rub it. I wish I could still drink.
Listen to that beat.
Yeah.
What's happening, everybody? Welcome. If you're listening, this isn't really going to matter to you, but we do a show on Friday, but today we're doing it on Wednesday.
Yeah, special Wednesday stream.
Special Wednesday. I tell you, Adam, watch out for me because it's hump day, and I don't know what that means. If you know what I mean, I'll come right over there, grab a hunk of hump.
Yeah.
So anyway, so it's a Wednesday show. So I don't know if you're watching live, it's on YouTube or Facebook. You can still, we don't have a 9-foot trans guest today, or we don't have, she was very sweet, not, she's very tall. All the doormen in my building.
Yeah. What were the reviews for Tori Easton?
Yeah. Oh, she was tall. Was that a guy?
Legs.
Yeah, that's always what it is.
A lot of is that a guy?
And by the way, it's never like, is that a guy? Yuck. It's like, is that a guy? Like, they're a little, like I said, I think it's interesting how, and I think the trans community should understand that, I don't know, they've made a lot of inroads with the blue collar.
There should almost be like an association of doormen for.
Yeah, they're getting the union vote now, these trans folks. So anyway, if you're listening, welcome. This is the Brian McCarthy interview show. I'm Brian, that's Adam. Mm-hmm. And if you're watching, of course, this is YouTube and Facebook, and you can make your, little chats and all that bullshit and everything. And so we're just hanging out today. It's a Wednesday. I'm going to Boston tomorrow.
That's why we're doing it today.
That's exactly why we're doing it today. I'm doing a little college tour because I have a daughter who's a rising senior. So we'll get to go to Boston. I don't really, last time I was in Boston was like 23 years ago, probably. Whoa. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not, we're staying at the W in case anybody wants to swing on by room 842.
Yeah. Do you want to just give out?
Yeah. If you don't mind. Yeah.
It's weird that you have it in advance. That's rare. But you got it so that you could give it out on the internet.
I'm a Bonvoy member, baby.
You're like a AAA ball player, writing it on napkins.
You know what's funny? Years ago, in the old apartment in Brooklyn, we had, I think I mentioned this to you, probably not the show, but we had a sewer line back up into the apartment. And this was 9 years ago. No, 10 years ago. Shit. And that happened. And so we had to move out, and our old apartment was a duplex. So the entire downstairs, which had just been renovated, like a gut renovation 4 years before that, it was brand new. They had to rip all of it out. So that was something. So we basically, long and short of it is, me and my wife and my 2 kids, we all moved into a series of hotels for about 4 months. And we spent a month at the La Quinta.
Nice. Which La Quinta?
I don't mean to brag.
They're always on like a major boulevard, I feel like.
Yes, this was the one down on 3rd Avenue.
Okay.
And it was funny. Now, for those of you who, don't know New York, this was in Brooklyn, but it was full of like European tourists that didn't realize that 3rd Avenue was not in Manhattan.
Right.
They were all
like, we're just 2 off of 5th,
They're like, we are very close to Empire State Buildings here. It's going to be 2 hectares away. How many meters are you from 9/11? But anyway, my point is that like but in that part of Brooklyn, it's pretty industrial. Like across the street was like a gas station and shit. And but it was funny because when I got to the La Quinta, I signed up for their like rewards program.
Yeah,
So-
you want to get it?
Oh yeah. So
Sure.
now I'm like a triple platinum La Quinta member. I think I have like 4 free nights at a look at me name dropping.
Yeah.
But I remember staying in the room. The room was, I don't think the room was 100 square feet. And it was 2, not even queen beds. It was 2 full beds. And the room was basically just 2 full beds. And the kids were in school. They were, little, but they were still in like elementary school. And my wife and I, and every time you got up to go into the bathroom, the exhaust fan would just turn on automatically because you would like turn on the light,
Right.
and the exhaust fan came. It sounded like a DC-20 every, like you'd wake up the entire floor. Like I couldn't believe how loud the fucking, like my kids would wake up crying if you went into the bathroom to to make a piddle. And I just remember being like, oh, this is awful. But then we also then spent 3 months living in the downtown Marriott, and I did this thing where I signed up for the Bonvoy program. So now when I call, they look at my number, they go, "Oh, Mr. McCarthy, we see you're
right this way, Mr. McCarthy.
For you'll get a double Toblerone. You have to buy one one Toblerone.
The first one is just $14.
Yeah, but the second one $11.
Yeah,
for you, sir.
Right.
It's so funny with Toblerone. Now, for those of you who don't know, it's that long, like
we're going into Toblerone.
Well, it's like a long. It looks like a pyramid. It's like what's the shape?
Yeah, it's a pyramid.
Pyramid. Thank you.
Yeah.
And it's a Swiss chocolate. I'm imagining. And it has I call it a kitchen sink chocolate bar because it has everything in it.
Little flecks of nougat.
It has nugget.
I love those.
It has raisins.
What?
Uh-huh.
I don't know what this is not your standard Toblerone.
Right. Show's over.
I just had a Toblerone not long ago. There was no raisin. Nary a raisin.
Am I thinking of a chunky bar? Because chunky bars have raisins in them.
Maybe thinking of a Charleston Chew.
No,
let me just Google.
Now I'm starving. In
Toblerone.
It's going to have bits of Legos in it, nougat, hazelnuts, a fingernail or
raisins. Because
Jewish gold fillings from the.
Okay, there is a fruit and nut with raisins.
See, you cocksucker.
Oh no, but I'm saying that's a different.
No,
it's not a standard Toblerone.
That's the Hollywood version. That's the business class version of the Toblerone. Because the other night we had people over, and sometimes instead of offering a dessert course, I'll just get a bunch of different chocolate bars and I break them up little pieces and I put them on a plate.
Yeah. So there's a whole. Let me read you the new universe They've rolled out because you can get like a sampler pack. And it looks like on Amazon for $34.
Was it? Is it one Toblerone?
What are these called?
They're
so there's one with. There's like 4 different Toblerones now. They got a white chocolate one.
That's not even chocolate. I hate white chocolate. I mean, I don't hate.
I'm not a big fan. Okay, milk. We got your standard milk chocolate. That's
what's in it.
That's your base model. That's just the milk chocolate with the little
flex.
What
is nougat?
I don't know. When
it's like flavor.
I love it.
I know, me too. It's like havla. It's like that Israeli havla stuff.
There is crunchy salted almond.
Oh, yum.
There is white chocolate, dark chocolate. Oh, the fruit and nut one isn't even in this sampler pack. So that's another.
It's an extra one.
Yeah, but that's
real.
Separate.
That's real double diamond. Mm-hmm. That's for the adventurous Toblerone consumer.
Hey, we got a chat here from Properly Labeled.
What's up, buddy? Or lady?
And they write, was mailing out headshots at work? ? I sent my address on Patreon like 3 times and no response.
Oh, fuck.
I have a Brian-shaped hole on my wall.
Oh, God damn it.
Thanks for the Wednesday show. Yeah, so we got to.
Listen, you're welcome. Yeah. And please just go on Patreon and just send it and I'll get it out tomorrow morning. I'm sorry about that. I don't know how I missed it. I thought I was there
was a lot of back and forth.
Yeah, there were because I'll tell you what happened. It was going to be fascinating to be you and him. Yeah. But some of the requests came in through when you have dozens of these. When one comes through Instagram, some came through Patreon, some came through carrier pigeon.
I think that's the thing is just only through Patreon since that's the thing. But Looks like this guy sent.
Yeah, and just send it. I'm sorry about that, but send it to me, and I have them. I have all. They're whatever.
Yeah.
I'll get it.
Dying to send them.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm sorry about that.
But I think the good news is I think it's only one person that got skipped over.
Yeah,
so.
And I went through. I actually sat with my wife and we double checked. There were a fair amount of these fucking things to send out. It wasn't like the brightest thing to be like, I'm going to send everyone a
no. It was actually there was quite a response.
It was
because we had like a little email thread going where I was like to sort of double check.
Yep.
I was putting in.
We were doing what we could. I know my
mail. Bring on an intern.
My mailman looked at me and he goes, "Hey, I'm throwing my back out here,
right,
with all these headshots." So so we'll do that.
Well, and this guy paid $5 just to let you know that too.
Well,
so we really
throw. You know what it is? I'll throw another. I'll give you two. You can a second one. This one you can use for your toilet bowl.
I think like a lock of your wife's hair would be.
It's if depending on where it is, there's lots of. All right, I'm just kidding. I can't.
Okay.
By the way, I'm still using that cream hair ball removal cream. It's amazing.
Nair for privates.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's so funny because it comes. Okay, so it's like a little tube. I found it on Instagram, and it's like a whatever. It looks like just a kind of almost like a toothpaste kind of a thing. But and I keep it in the shower, and it came with a little like applicator. It looks like almost like a little wooden popsicle. Like when you get those little like ice cream things.
It's like what with my Gorilla epoxy. I get one of those.
Probably. And when you're monkeying around, and and what you do is you put this stuff, you rub it all over any area around your balls and asshole or whatever that you want the hair to be removed,
the affected area.
And then you set a 4-minute timer. I go 5 minutes because I feel like I got a lot going on down there. And after 5 minutes, you then take that applicator thing and you just push it against the grain of the hair, and all the hair comes up. Like it all comes up. It's wild. I'm telling you, it's wild. Anyway, but my wife was like, she asked me, she was like, she showed it to me. She was like, "What is this thing like in this shower?" And I was like, "Oh, that's my hair removal plastic."
Occasionally, I like to have a malt cup while I'm in. They're like, what is it? Is it peanuts in here? What's happening?
If it takes the water a while to get warm.
If I listen to the ball game.
Yeah. I crack the door. Listen to 10-10 wins. Why not?
I like the idea of weird snacks being in the
exactly.
The shower.
Some bugles, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
You put them on your fingers like a witch.
Yeah. We have a really fancy grocery store by our house called Agata. And I was there yesterday, and we were having some people over on Sunday, and so I was like, oh, I get some little bar snacks. So they have these, it's like a bag of like pre-shelled pistachios, and they're like chili flavored or honey mustard or whatever it is. They were fucking like, I don't even reckon, because when you use apple.
Oh yeah. When you pistachio, because I love pistachios, they can break not you. Cheap.
No, they can, especially if they're deep.
Yeah, I was financially ruined.
Yes, exactly.
By pre-shelled pistachios.
That's my second wife left me because of my pistachio addiction. The thing about it too is if they're out of the shell, I don't think there's any machine that can crack. So they probably have to have like little old ladies like popping the shells, like talking.
You think? Yeah, I wonder how did. I'm going to pull like a fucking Mr. Rogers and look that up because
go right ahead. That's why we're here. But I don't understand necessarily like how you could like have a machine that deshells pistachios.
I'm sure they could.
I don't know. Like put it this way, like when you buy when you buy crab meat, there's no machines that like deshell a crab. And I know pistachios doesn't have as much going on as like a crab, but I feel like it'd be hard to, because all of them are different. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna lose a lot of. It's not like a peanut, which is kind of like they're sort of all the same. So I don't know how you would even deshell.
Oh wow, I got a crazy fucking explanation.
Go ahead.
The microwave radiation rapidly vaporizes. It's like a crazy tongue twister. Vaporizes the water within the shell of the nut, thereby creating a rapid rise in pressure inside the shell. This rapid application of internal pressure causes the shell to split along its longitudinal.
Yep, that's right.
Suture.
Yep. Suture
wow.
is a cut.
longitudinal suture.
Yeah, that's a long cut. That must be
It was
what that means.
Cover band.
Wow.
That I
had no idea gamma rays were involved.
Holy shit.
So what do you mean? They put them all in like some big industrial microwave?
I guess so. They use microwave radiation to de-shell them.
They have like
so it's not like a big nutcracker, that's kind of what I pictured too.
Yeah, like an assembly.
Or in your case, little ladies.
Son of a bitch.
You said, well, that's what you. That was the explanation that you offered. But yeah.
I would imagine, because I thought like a big like a conveyor belt with a bunch of pistachios on it, and just kind of like Laverne and Shirley, people just kind of going through and
maybe a little
like talking to each other.
Lucille Ball getting behind.
Yeah.
It gets real slapsticky.
And like funny signs on the wall of the factory, like you don't have to be nuts to work here, but it sure helps.
You want it when?
Yeah, curb workplace violence. Don't get assaulted.
Right.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Funny signs like that. So
it could be. Yeah, there's a endless fodder really.
Hey, do you watch Saturday Night Live?
I don't. I will occasionally pop in. If I'm home on a Saturday night, I do kind of like to sometimes pop in and watch. I don't know. It's just interesting to watch a live thing.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I'll usually make it like 10 minutes.
This
tops.
year is the 50th anniversary, and I watched. I didn't.
You think they're gonna do anything for it?
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
they're gonna. They do something for fucking every time somebody makes a solid BM there.
Yeah, when
they have like a fucking gala.
They're like Martin Short got a colonoscopy, so they fucking had a ticker tape parade,
basically.
Yeah. By the way, that fucking guy's insufferable. By the way, like I don't know, I can't take him, and frankly, I can't take Steve Martin either.
Even you just fucking go play your banjo.
Yeah, he's so.
You and Rick Moranis go play your banjos.
Yeah, like that's
what I say.
Yeah, like anybody, bluegrass. I mean, I can't take the like I'm a funny wacky guy, but then when I'm not, I play the banjo.
Yeah, and I can finger pick like bad out of hell.
And I collect like Cubist art from post World War II Berlin or something. You know what I mean? Like he's very, very serious. There's a great story about Steve Martin where right by here there's something called the 92nd Street Y, and it's this theater space, and you go there and you can see like I don't know, Fran Drescher talk about her
nice talk
ovarian cancer or something. I don't know what, and it's always like things like celebrities will come and and they'll have like NPR will have a panel or something. So there's one where they had Steve Martin, and Steve Martin was there, and all he wanted to do was talk about his art collection, because I guess he has a lot of like brutal art or whatever. I don't know. He's got
a big because I want to say he got scammed a time or two with some forgeries.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I think that's how I learned about his sort of art collection.
Are you telling me the guy that got started doing card tricks at Knott's Berry Farm isn't an art historian? I mean,
I guess not.
Yeah.
I guess not.
Anyway, the point is that and also he's never been married, Steve Martin, and he doesn't have kids. So
he doesn't? I didn't know that. He's one of those guys.
It's a weirdo. I don't know.
Yeah, because I get like, maybe if you're a podcast producer, that lives in Queens, like you have, but when you're like a cajillionaire,
yes,
or you know what I mean, when you're worth 50 million or whatever, like, there's no, or you can at least have like a one latchkey kid.
You would think by the time you hit 80, you would have just blown your load in somebody just by accident.
Sure.
And they just kept the baby. I mean, there might be like, maybe there's some like 50-year-old guy with prematurely white hair, like somewhere in Illinois right now,
right?
Who's like been sending letters to Steve Martin, like, who's the jerk now? Because that was a movie he made, everybody, 1980. Thank you very much.
All I need is a paddle ball and a slinky or whatever.
Yeah. Anyway,
I don't need you, Dad.
So the night, exactly. Dirty Rotten Scoundrel. I think you're the Dirty Rotten Scoundrel.
Yes.
And the mom was like a waitress at a cocktail waitress at like a fucking comedy club.
But he like just keeps drafting the letter.
Never
sends he's like, it's never right. And he just keeps fucking
falling
it up. He's in like an SRO somewhere.
Yeah. Just all by
frustrated.
Yeah.
Doing like heroin.
5 days of like white growth beard on his face. And when he goes to like panhandle, people go no, and he goes, well, excuse me. He's clearly
doing wild and crazy guys.
Wow. Yeah. He played He plays the banjo really well, but he doesn't even know it. You know, like he can't afford a banjo.
He hasn't fully realized. Hey, we got properly labeled chimed back in. He said, "Sorry to interrupt Pistachio Hour, but when is the BMIS holiday party at Gallagher's?"
Oh, that's a great question. We're doing
it. Great question. We should do that.
We are 100% going to do that. As a matter of fact, Gallagher's follows me now on Instagram. I was saving that for a big Patreon show.
Hey, you know what I'm thinking?
What?
You know where there's a La Quinta that you could use your free nights?
Is there one close to Gallagher's?
Right at the Queens Boulevard. Maybe we do. Maybe we do it like make a fucking night of it.
I'm going to take a stab at something and say, wouldn't be the first time a Gallagher's dancer has been in that La Quinta. It's kind of like the VIP room.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. That exhaust fan is loud because of all the raping. It's the exhaust fan just cuts out the screams of a Colombian immigrant.
Yeah,
just
muffles
just loud enough, right? As you're pulling out her teeth. We're gonna do it. If you're in the I'm look at my hand. I'm waving at the
I think
laptop.
I think we should just like pick a time.
Yeah, we'll do it.
And we'll go. We're gonna be there. You can invite Paco.
We will. We'll bring some. We'll bring some of our heavy hitters,
some pals. Your friend Lauren.
I will reach out to the management, that old guy who always sits at this foot of the stairs, who also is in charge of the paper plates in case you have food ordered to Gallagher's, which you can do.
Yeah.
Although they
I think those were porcelain. They were at least plastic.
Titanic china.
I don't believe they were disposable, or were they?
Well, they didn't dispose of them. He's like, yeah, just wipe the paper plate off. It's fine.
Sure.
You
just flip it.
Yeah, you had salad on there. It's not wet.
Weird thing. Have you seen those paper plates that are like reusable?
Ugh.
No, but it's a plate. It's like thick, right?
Okay.
And then it like tears off.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
It's kind of genius.
It is kind of genius.
Yeah.
Although, as much as yesterday I was at a pret-a-manger. I do pretty well, and I got a coffee and it had a paper straw in it, iced coffee.
Ooh,
and I forgot it. I know, because normally what you do with those things is you have to put it on the side and only use it when you're going to drink. And then you should take it out again, which is, it's an extra step, but hey, I'm trying to save the turtles or something or whatever. And, but I forgot to take it out, and I went to like drink the coffee, and the whole fucking straw had just like melted into the thing. So you got to
it's the worst.
Paper straws, you have to be very judicious about your application. You use it. So anyway, to get back to, we'll get back to pistachios in a minute. It's very important, but we're going. Yeah, I think the Gallagher's thing is a good idea.
It's a great idea,
and I think we should do it. We should do a day. We should do it during the day for sure.
Definitely during the day.
So I think a Thursday or Friday in
around.
Well, it's got to be around
Christmas.
Yeah. Like sometime in December.
Look at that month.
All right, we're gonna pull this up right now
because I think that would be fun.
Yeah,
and there's gonna be an MLC Christmas party too.
Oh,
if you want to come to that.
I mean, I don't
know. At what's the bar?
Is it in
what's the bar
Atlantic?
By Compound Media?
Oh, gee, across the street. Yeah, the Bill Schultz cocaine stall bar. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know the name. I know the one you're talking about. It's the Irish bar across the street by the hand job place. That whole, for those of you who don't know, New York is really gentrified, but that one block, it's 1992.
Sullivan's properly labeled. Thank you.
Sullivan's. Wow, really, really playing against playing to your base, as they say. Yeah.
Maybe like the 19th. That's
really close to Christmas. Yeah, I'll do it.
Oh, you don't want? Okay, yeah, you just in the month of December, right?
No, but that's that. I don't,
sure.
I don't go.
What if we did?
Go ahead.
What if we did a Friday?
And
we do the show and then we go over there.
I like that idea.
Would that be too crazy?
No, it's a lot of.
Is it so crazy it just might work?
Yeah, that's so crazy. I don't know. Yeah, Jesus. Does this thing go to 11? I think it does. Yeah, we could do that. Just pack up everything and just rock.
Oh wait, I have my big stupid backpack, but I'm so close by. I could drop my stuff off and meet you there.
There's a coat check at Gallagher's.
Yeah. I don't know if I feel like putting.
Yeah, I know, right?
You come like $3,000 worth of shit.
I know. You go to get your bag, and there's two Dominican strippers doing a podcast. But
you had insurance, right?
But nothing's plugged in. They're like, hey, so yesterday I was coming home and you guys beating, and the child is screaming. You're screaming too. I screaming. Okay, everything. It's just
They're like, you
cords.
had insurance, right?
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, you go to get it from that old guy, and he's like, "Yeah, we sold it for more disposable paper plates. We was running out of them."
Yeah. Oh, your daughter wants to know if you want Starbucks.
Oh, she's sweet. No, I'm okay.
What a peach.
She's a good. You want to just tell her no?
Okay.
Thank you.
No, thank you. No, thank you, sweetie. Daddy, I'm gonna write.
Yeah.
Just it like you look in your text history and you're like, wow, Adam just wrote so many extra things to my daughter.
And then you write like, and when you get home, mommy and daddy have to talk to you about something. There's going to be some changes.
I just wrote no, thank you.
Hashtag moving out. Like, oh no.
Oh, he says probably labeled. Says that who's I think the new executive producer.
Yep.
Says live stream from Gallagher's Best of Both Worlds. That would be great.
That would be great
if you could clear that with your friend with the plates. I would be happy.
All right.
To do that.
Here's the thing. I just thought of something that we're going to have to do. We have to do a preemptive visit. We need to do a visit about
recon.
We need
you got to do some recon.
We need to rekindle this relationship.
Sure.
With him. It'd be funny if I walk in, he's like, yeah, where? We follow you on the gram. I'm like, wow, this guy's really up on the social media.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's like, did you ever figure out how they did those pistachios?
Yeah, right.
He's like really current.
How big is that microwave that they use to nuke the nuts?
Sure.
Yeah, you nuke the nuts. I wish they'd nuke all
I would have thought it was old ladies too.
Yeah, you guys. Yeah. Hey, let me guess. Club soda with cranberry juice? Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
That's me. Yeah, so let's do a trip out there. We'll tell the guy.
Do a little recon.
Yeah, it might be
research.
It might be fun. Again, now we're just kind of
workshopping. We're scouting
out loud, but I wonder if we could like just kind of check in once in a while and like live stream, not like 100%, but just kind of.
Right. I'm trying to think of how that would work in terms of they don't really have tables anymore.
Sure, they do.
I mean, they could. Or we could do it down in the lower deck.
Okay. I know that everyone listening has probably never been to Gallagher's, maybe one or two, maybe that'd be funny. But like Gallagher's has like you walk in and there's a long stage with seating all around it. And that's where everything happens. And then you go downstairs in the same open area, and there's easily 4,000 square feet of another stage. I've never seen anybody on that stage. And there's tables everywhere down there. Mm-hmm. There's tables fucking everywhere. And I've put it this way, Gallagher's could easily accommodate 500 people at the same time. I've never seen more than 30 people in there. So I don't know.
I mean, I think if you pitched it as like, hey, it's a live stream, people watch it. It's also a podcast. We'll talk about Gallagher's.
I mean, I feel like we wouldn't have to do. I think we could just show up with. We could probably roll in there with like Klieg lights, and like some sort of animatronic dinosaur.
The last couple of times we were there, there was nothing but.
Yeah, we're shooting like a Jurassic Park parody. So we're gonna bring in a 19-foot pterodactyl with like a marionette. You got an area upstairs where we could pull strings and shit.
Sure.
Yeah, go climb up there. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's ducks up there for the air conditioning.
Right.
Yeah, get into vents like the movie Aliens. That's right. I'm in the business.
Into vents.
Yeah, go and get into ducks.
I've done a bit of tin knocking myself.
Yeah, I'm familiar. You know, I wrote a screenplay. It's about an old man who owns a strip club who can fight crime. Right. What do you think about that? You like that idea? You have to be polite. You're like, how long is the screenplay?
Right.
800 pages.
Right.
Oh no. It's funny. I have a friend of mine who is working. He's working on he works in TV and film and stuff. And then we have a mutual friend of ours who just finished a short film, but he didn't finish it. It's in
post.
Yeah, but it's not done. Like it's supposed to be 20 minutes and it's 50 minutes. And
so they're having to sort of whittle it down.
Yeah. So the guy who made it gave it to my friend and said, hey, listen, I want you to take a look at this thing and I want your notes. Because the guy is pretty accomplished that he gave it to. And he goes, I want your notes. And the problem with that is, here's the thing. Whenever anybody says, I want your notes, they just want to hear that it's good. They don't want to hear. They don't really want notes.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're probably. I mean,
yeah.
Is it really?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Like, if it's like, okay, for example, like Don't Look Now, the thing that I made in New Mexico, like, the director asked me. He was like, "Oh, like, do you think it's good? Do you have any notes?"
Sure.
And I was like, "Well, in my mind, I'm like, it's already fucking edited and done. Like, I'm not gonna.
Right.
I might as well. What am I gonna say? Like,
yes.
Oh, get back in the fucking edit. No, at minute 18, you should have. And there's actually a couple of, there's one in Don't Look Now. There's one thing that was kind of a big fuck up. And I mentioned it to him and he immediately like bristled a little bit. And he was like, well, that was the only take that I liked. I was like, okay, well, forget it, whatever. So anyway, but the point is like the thing that the guy that made it, it needs notes. Like you know what I mean? So, but
see, because I'll ask for notes on a thing, but I'll only, if I'm not sure, like in the past, if I'm not sure, like, is this confusing? Does this read correctly? But I would go check this out. If it's not locked off, if I'm open to like,
right, that's what I'm saying,
making changes.
Yeah. And this particular project was not done. Like it was,
but if it's just, hey, this is out, but then it would sort of be like, hey, tell me, I mean, I don't know. I don't even think I would say, tell me what you think. I'd be like, check this out. But it's like, it's out,
I think what happened was, I think the guy that made it, there were specific problems in terms of like, I don't know, the titular plot points and this pacing and the whatever. So the guy, he kind of gave it to my friend and was like, hey, I know there are issues. Can you help me? But the guy that made it wrote it, directed it. So it's kind of near and dear to him. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like one of these things where like, I feel like, anyway, point is the guy that gave, like, my friend gave him notes and he gave him copious notes and he like time coded them, like, minute 18, this character, why did they do this? And, he actually did the right thing. He didn't just go, it needs some work or whatever. He actually went through and gave like an informed response to the question. And now they're not talking to each other.
Oh no.
So, well, the guy won't take his calls.
Yeah, because I remember years ago, I asked a friend for notes. This was in probably my late 20s.
Okay.
Mid to late 20s.
By the way, the way you look, that could have been last year.
Oh, stop it.
You're welcome.
But I learned that lesson early. I was like, hey, let me know what you think. And he gave me notes.
Right.
And for a second, your initial ego, you're going to kind of go like, oh, what the fuck is that? I thought it was perfect. But then you kind of go, okay, but he actually gave me very constructive criticism. But it's this weird, there's kind of this weird balance, this weird dance where you go, all right.
And there's also criticism as it relates to like the technical aspects of something.
Sure.
And then also creative criticism.
Right.
Like if you come back to I'm talking about this guy and this guy. If you come back to somebody and you go, I don't understand the story. Then the guy wrote it and then you get like defensive and then you have to, so it's one of those things where if you come back and you go, oh, the lighting is fucked up or the sound or whatever, that's easy enough to tweak. But if you're like, this story sucks.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm wondering, what did the guy say? Like, what were his notes?
Number one,
to not be friends.
I mean, like the guy clearly was more sensitive about.
Sure. He wasn't ready for criticism.
And I do know the creator of the project, and maybe he can be a little precious, about his thing. But I also get it. I mean, fuck. When I made the Shawshank Redemption, thank you very much. By the way, a little plug. Adam put up Naughty Schoolgirl Food Fight, which is another of the Wet Wrestling's shows that I made, and we're trying to dig through and find the rest of them. It's getting pretty slim.
Yeah, so if you want to, that's on YouTube and members and Patreon. So pick your poison there. But if you want to sign up, since we're on YouTube, you can now you can click that link at the top of the.
Can they download it? Can they own it? Can they download it?
I mean, you can. I think YouTube, you can. I think you got to rip it, but I don't. What for their collection? Like what?
What are you implying? Now I'm offended.
No, but I mean, people want to watch. They watch it on YouTube. That's where they
take
keep
it on the plane. I don't know.
Oh yeah, you can watch.
Put on a boat.
You can bring YouTube on a plane.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. If you're an economy plus,
yeah. To answer your question, wherever you can use YouTube, yes. But you could rip it to if you or download it if you want. But I don't know that many people do that.
Anyway, so Naughty Schoolgirl Food Fight, which is another one, and also if you follow, I put the Patreon made a weird little trailer, and I just put that up on all the social media. So it's at Brian M Show, like McCarthy Show. Hi, honey. Brian M Show, and you can just find it there, and you can find it. But even when I made the wet wrestling thing, the guy that was the agent for it, who brought it to pay-per-view television, he had notes for me, and it was already done. And that fucking guy, he made me, Steve.
Yikes! And he was like the gatekeeper, though.
He was, yeah. I had to do everything,
implement his notes.
And the editor that I worked with lived in Westchester, and at the time I lived in California, so I had to fly back to California. I had to fly from California back to Westchester to like redo the audio track and to redo bumpers and that kind of thing. It was like 3 or 4 trips. I mean, we're talking a couple of $1,000s on top of like, so that was brutal. But you know, I wasn't like, this is my magnum opus. How dare you? I was annoying. I was like, oh my God, you know, I think he was just kind of swinging his dick a little bit. So that's what that was about.
It was like, these titties aren't glistening enough.
Yeah, exactly.
We need to.
Yeah. I'm not getting a real female prison. You know, I want it darker, more cinematic. You know,
We're gonna recast with the.
No, he didn't like my hilarious voiceover because.
Okay.
Whatever. I mean, but I had to go back, and I'd have to like fly back to New York, and then I'd have to get myself to fucking Westchester, which is north of the city. And by the way,
you couldn't go to that one Tigerman or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, that's what it's called. Tigerman, Tiananmen Square,
Tigerville.
Yeah, Tigerville Airport.
What's the one up?
I know what you're talking about.
Or that's maybe too far north.
It's also that's a little like I don't know. I know you're talking about the little airport.
I've lost my fucking.
Yeah, it's Tigerville. That sounds about right. It's all the Winnie the Pooh characters go there. Tigerville. By the way, we said Tigger. Everybody, relax.
Teterboro. I actually wasn't
that far off.
No, that's over in Jersey.
I know exactly what you meant.
Okay, I don't know why I was thinking it was north.
I'm flying from LA, so no big plane can go all the way from LA.
Oh yeah, because there's the Westchester County one, but you'd have to transfer.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't the end of the world. Although I will say,
wait, could you?
What?
Wait, I said you would have to transfer.
Yeah,
that would be amazing at LaGuardia.
Yeah, waiting for my.
Can a plane even like
tiny little
do
plane?
that? Can they do like look? They could probably go JFK to.
I mean, probably you'd have to leave.
That'd
you'd have
hilarious.
to go through security and probably get to some kind of weird like tiny hangars that like way on the other side of JFK.
I'm looking up JFK to Westchester.
They're like, hey, are you Mr. McCarthy? How you doing, sir? Yeah. Oh, you going to go fix your wrestling videos, huh? All right. Let's get in the back. I got to weigh you, sir. Sir, I got to weigh you. You drunk? Yeah. All right. Let's go. I heard about you. How you doing? How's the missus? Jesus Christ. Yeah. It's like some little play. Like he gives me goggles and a white scarf. I ride in the back like the Red Baron. Yeah. He's like, yeah, here we go. All right.
Oh, wow. I think you can.
Fuck yeah.
You fly JFK. I'm not even going to check LaGuardia. I don't want to insult Google like that.
This is really inside baseball. What we're saying is LaGuardia is a lot closer to Westchester than JFK.
It's quite a bit. I mean, it's still
probably 11 miles.
I think they could still get a plane. It would just probably go up and down.
Yeah, go up and down. It's like going to Vegas when you fly from LA to Vegas. It's like up and down, 45 minutes. But
that's bizarre.
Yeah, but anyway, but that was what the guy made me do, is to like redo like the audio track. Oh, but the reason why I mentioned SNL is because I watched it last weekend, and look, I mean, I like SNL. Like when it's good, it's good, and whatever. I mean, there's some really funny shit over the years, and I don't, everyone goes, oh, it was better then, or better. It's always like it's always like the SNL that you watched when you were like 15.
I think that's what it is. I think it's like the music you were into in high school kind of thing.
Yeah,
sort of
exactly. Like are you talking about
with you?
My affinity for Kajagoogoo?
Yes.
Yeah. But I was watching it, and there's something that they did on the show that really chapped my ass, as they say. And what I don't like, what they do on SNL is when, all right, so let's just back up everything for a minute.
Please.
Okay, so SNL, right? There's a cast on SNL, and they're all of these people, and there you have feature players, you have cast members,
musical guests,
Toad the Wet Sprocket,
Finesse Mitchell.
I actually met Don Pardo like years
ago. Did you really? Yeah. God, I would love.
I used to be friends with the guy Lukash, who played
Dr.
guitar.
Luke.
Yeah, Dr. Luke, right?
He's like an infamous guy.
You know who he's with Keisha, right? You know. You know who he was best friends with? Was Liquid Todd, who did the show.
Okay.
So when
Liquid
I met
Todd and Dr. Luke.
they were back then he was just Lukash, and he played guitar on SNL. And so anyway, point of that is that so I used to go to these SNL parties and stuff, and that's when I met Don Pardo. I met him in the hallway. And
fun.
He was like clearly he was
nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet. The bathroom is around the corner. Yeah,
I just love it's so classic. Now I don't know. It's not the same for me when I watch because I like his.
Well,
I liked him as the announcer.
Well, you know who does the voice now, right?
Is it Daryl Hammond?
Yeah,
right.
Daryl Hammond. I was going to say Daryl Hannah. Yeah, the girl from the Mermaid movie.
Sure.
Yeah, she married Jackson Brown.
Uh-huh.
No, actually, she married Neil Young, as a matter of fact. But anyway, so the point. Okay, what I'm trying to say is like I hate it when they have a cast, right? So they can do all these fucking dumb characters, right? But if they have, like, for example, I'll cite the exact example. So they had a skit with Kamala Harris, right? And Kamala Harris comes out, right? Now it's clear it's not actual Kamala Harris. It was
Maya Rudolph.
It was Maya Rudolph.
Sure.
Now here's the thing: Maya Rudolph has not been a cast member on that fucking show for 15 years. Like, just let the people that are on the show be the stupid characters. Like, I mean, I know, I feel like I mentioned this. I mean, I've done the show for a million years, but like I mentioned lots of things already on the show. I know. Thank you for reminding me every week, people. Thank you. Hey, you want to hear the story about how I fucking had
It's really just the one guy that's mad about it. So if that
very
makes you feel
vocal.
better,
I take it. I take it very
the
personally.
vocal majority.
Yeah, I wake up middle
vocal
of the night.
minority.
Yeah.
Hey, that's my house. Am I right?
I tell you what.
Yeah.
Why don't you
fucking roasted her?
Why don't you try doing the dishes? Right? Yeah, you vapid cunt. Wow. Okay. Sorry about that. Holy shit. Just kidding. But yeah. So anyway, but my point is like when you get on that fucking show, it is such a big deal because you're like some sketch comedy knucklehead. You're from Chicago. You're in the Second City or the UCB or whatever. And you get on, this is like the major leagues, and you're on this show and you only have a couple of years to either like break big or not at all. You're either, you know what I mean? You're either Adam Sandler or you're Horatio Sands, like you're 52 years old and you have a roommate and you're living in the Valley and, you're running open mic improv shows, somewhere at the I don't know, the Vulva Cafe. Is that a place?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
And then my point is that I feel like if Lorne Michaels went to Maya Rudolph and said, hey, listen, we want you to come back and do your hilarious Kamala Harris. Maya Rudolph, who's had an incredible career. I mean, for what it's worth. I mean, in terms of doing all her bullshit, like she should go to Lorne Michaels and be like, hey, I appreciate this, Lorne. Let the kids do it. Let the actual cast do it. Like when Jim Carrey was Joe Biden, it was like, dude, he wasn't even on the fucking.
Well, there's degrees of that because then you have when it's like, oh, then they have Ryan Gosling play Beavis or something. That's where it gets very insulting. At least Maya Rudolph was a cast member, but I get what you mean. It's annoying.
It's just like,
but
let the people that are on the dumb show, let them be. Especially like, it's not like Maya Rudolph is coming back to be some sort of weird one-off like dumb thing. She's coming back to be like the big deal character.
Big deal.
Like that's the big one that these people are. That if you stood any chance of like being a cast member and breaking through, then that is how you would break through, by being like a Kamala Harris or.
And I wonder how that works. Is it like a proper kind of, because there's got to be somebody that does a Kamala Harris or tried. Right. They went, well, we're going to go with Maya.
I'll tell you this. I know. I mean, I'm a bit of a Hollywood insider.
Sure. Please.
You're welcome. And I know that when Alec Baldwin, when Alec Baldwin was doing Trump, the cast members were really pissed.
Yeah.
Because to be fucking Trump, I mean, Jesus Christ, anybody, you put
Did they have that guy at that time, the guy with the three names?
that one
he does a great.
All I know is that you could even put a female cast member in a fucking orange wig and and a little bit of a fat suit and a big long red tie and be like, you know, I'm Trump. You know?
Yeah, that might be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, who cares? Anybody could do Trump. Trump's like a cartoon character, so you could.
Yeah.
So they were really pissed off that they were bringing in Alec Baldwin, and it's kind of like it's what they call, like in wrestling, they call it like cheap heat.
Yeah, well, because I get it. That moves the needle more than Bo and Yang, right? So they kind of like
burn.
I'm a fan. He's he's less known. And
Maya Rudolph, hello, Miraka Chen. Okay, thank you. It's
Bobby Moynihan. It's kind of like, I get it, but I total cheap heat.
Like, dude, like you've done this thing for 50 years. Just let them fucking let the kids do it. Who gives a shit? Like having Martin Short show up and be on SNL. It's like, dude, you're 77 years old. Like, take a fucking day off. By the way, I think he's he's dating Meryl Streep.
Really?
Isn't that interesting?
Interesting. It's weird to date Meryl Streep.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Like, she's an older lady. It's just kind of interesting to be like, ooh, I got my first. I'm a little nervous. I got a date with Meryl Streep, with Meryl. With just even a woman named Meryl seems kind of like, ooh, butterflies.
Yeah. How'd you like?
Kind of interesting.
Hey, how'd you like making the Deer Hunter?
Yeah.
This is weird.
Gertrude and I got a couple of tickets to go see.
Right. Have you met my girlfriend Hazel McFlinty?
Yes. It just seems. I don't know. It's kind of. I even feel in my 40s. I feel like a dork being like saying girlfriend.
Well, then put a ring on it.
Yeah. Listen, that's easier said than done.
All right. Jesus Christ.
What have you been talking to my therapist? Jesus Christ. No, but I mean, because a lot of people, they'll say partner.
Adam, just make a mistake.
Like,
just make a mistake.
And it's like, okay, partner.
Yeah. Partners.
You know what I mean?
Partner's weird.
That's like what the Brooklyn hipster version of it. They go, oh, my partner. And then you go, is this guy a gay guy?
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? I'm sharing a popsicle with a fanook?
Yeah. I don't feel stupid enough to say partner's really douchey. But I mean, some people say that when they're married too. They go, "Oh, my partner." Like, boy.
No, I don't. I just say wife. Although I have to say, when I meet a gay guy who's married and he refers to another guy as his husband, I do kind of laugh a little. Sorry. I mean, I'm very happy for them, and I think 100%.
Like, oh, look at you two.
You guys are like, come on, look at you playing house.
Sure.
Look at you. And because I do feel like with every gay couple I've ever met, it's always like you look at the two of them, and then like you talk to them after 5 minutes, and they're like, yeah, we're a throuple.
Well, and that I would almost argue that interference, that that's the most pure form of husbandry, which is like we blow other people when we're out of town, but then we still own a home together. I mean, that's like you really want to be together. Which is that warms my heart.
I'd like to be
which
gay.
Takes
I wouldn't mind being gay married to a woman. That'd be fun. It'd be great if you could propose to somebody and be like, do you want to be married to me or do you want to be gay married to me?
Dude, could I propose gay marriage?
I would love to be gay married.
Holy shit.
To a woman, to a beautiful lady.
That should be an option.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, I think that's sort of like being poly, right?
But saying gay married is a lot more fun. Because
holy shit, will you gay marry me? Brian McCarthy, gay marry. That would be fucking great.
But then the funny thing is, most people wouldn't know what you meant, so then you have to explain it. You're like, okay, you have to do like a PowerPoint.
Okay,
You're like, here's the deal.
All right, I travel a lot, right? Okay, so I'm gonna meet strangers on an app, and you can do the same thing because I'll be gone.
Yeah,
I mean, you can even do it in the house because I'm not here. And but we don't only first names.
Yep,
this is the actual guidelines I've heard from gay guys. Only first names, no last names, and like no dating. Just sex.
We're taking a lot of prep. Okay, we're just every day. It's like a vitamin, honey. We're taking it because
the breakfast nook.
Because gay marriage means we're not bagging it. Okay,
we're putting it in.
We're going
in our
in
omelets.
We're going in raw dog. Okay. Because condoms, that's for marriage.
Oh man, there should like California sober. There should be gay marriage.
There should be a gay marriage option.
Married and gay marriage.
And it is funny too because gay marriage, it really is. The rules are so hilariously elastic. It's like no last names and not in the house while I'm in the house.
Sure.
Like, oh, okay. Well, I guess I can
You
live
have to
with,
wait for me to run to the store.
yeah, I can live with your draconian rules of monogamy.
And I know a gay man. I think that's monogamous. But
By the way,
I think it's,
you're looking at him.
I think that I think it's, I'm not saying, but I think statistically monogamy amongst gay men is pretty low. It's a hard thing to find.
Well, yes. I think there's a degree of like real honesty. Plus, if I ever met a gay guy who only wanted to be monogamous, like with their partner, and they're like, we've been together for 40 years, we've never had, I'd be like, what a couple of fucking weirdos.
Yes.
I'd be like, creepy. I wouldn't let those guys water my plants.
Yeah, I
if
wouldn't
I was
trust
out of
them.
town. No.
Wouldn't trust them.
Like, what's wrong with you gays? You guys are really, they're like log cabin gays or something.
Maybe. Yeah.
They're like gays who bomb an abortion clinic. And like, what do you
They
guys
could
even,
be.
why do you guys even care?
Like a Milo Yiannopoulos kind of gay, like weird gay.
Yeah. Like they're gay and part of their sex involves cutting each other with butter
Sure.
knives. They're like, this is really going to hurt.
Right.
I'm going to cut them, squeeze the gay out of you. Yeah. But no, being gay married would really be the thing. And by the way, I would tell my wife, I'd be like, although it is really self-serving because women don't want to be gay married, but you go to your wife and be like, hey, here's the good news. You're also going to be gay married. She's like, what? She's like crying. She's like, what does that mean? You're like, you can have sex with anybody you want. And I don't give a shit. Like, I want you to give a shit.
I think I might be able to pitch this if I was really, my girlfriend said that she's not like a normal,
go ahead,
or maybe typical female where she's like,
well, then put a ring on it.
I can have sex and be into it. No strings attached. She's like, I don't need to like, I would prefer it, right. but like a lot, what is demisexual? She's like, I'm not demisexual. I can get it up for anybody if they're hot, if I'm physically attracted.
She said that.
Yeah,
she could keep her.
She's like a guy in that sense, and her giant cock.
Yeah. Well, that would be great because I don't think. I mean, would you be jealous if your girlfriend?
Oh, I could. No, but she also is like, I'm insanely jealous. I would never be able to.
Oh, well then, what's the point? Then,
so I'm like, you're not that much.
Yeah. Why dangle that carrot in front of me?
No, but I'm just saying, there's something there. I'm like, I think I could probably. I don't have the energy to, frankly,
let me preface all of this by saying gay marriage sounds exhausting. I mean, to have like the governor off on your monogamy. I mean,
I think if you're we would be, if we were able to do that, we'd be sort of calibrated, I think, differently.
Yes.
Because I mean, you remember what it was like when you were single, but I mean, that would be like when you were in your 20s or something.
Yeah. Like gay single. I remember like being gay single and straight single is a totally different animal. I mean, I remember like I had to go on a business trip. It was always a long time ago, but I had to go and I had this guy I worked with who was gay, and he wasn't like a particularly good looking guy. He was probably in his early 50s, young guy. And like bald, kind of heavy, whatever. And we were in Chicago and we like got to the hotel, we went to our rooms, and then we met for dinner like an hour later. And I was like, hey, what'd you get into? And he's like, oh, I was talking to a guy in a chat room and I just went and met him and I'm back. I was like, you went and had sex?
Well, I think that's the thing that's amazing too, is when you're truly gay married and you're into men, there's just so much less of a dance, I think.
Oh, 100%.
So it's more convenient.
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, yeah, no.
Whereas like we'd have to like impress women and like actually get them to want to fuck
There's
us.
no dog and pony show with, I mean, no, a gay guy can like go to a public restroom and like pee next to another gay guy and look over and be like, hey, listen.
Pull a Republican senator out of the...
When's your next train? I got the 4:15. It's 400. 400. Want to see if we can get some come out of you?
Yeah, I got a wide stance, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, let's go in the handicap stall. Let me show you my new tattoo.
Stand in this Bloomingdale's bag.
Yeah, go ahead, step in it. Don't rip it though.
Don't rip it. I gotta read.
Don't rip it. Yeah, you're wearing pretty pointy shoes there, soldier. Take your shoes off and stand in my Bloomingdale's bag, but put the shoes on top of the toilet tank. You got like way too many instructions for the guy.
He's like real precious about his Bloomingdale's bag.
It's vintage. I bought it on eBay.
It's already got shoes in it. Like, it's this crazy. You're like, no, step out of yours.
Like,
and then you like put your feet into 2 Crocs.
It's all set up. Yeah. And then like,
I like it.
You get busted by the cops and he's like, let me put my shoes on.
Sure.
And he's like, no, you're going to.
I'll take that a step further. In that stall, that bag is actually like screwed to the floor too. Like, it's all just
all
a permanent.
It's all ready to go. It's like breath mint.
This is the cruise. There's handicap and then there's the cruising stall.
Right. There's like a padded, like knee pads in there. It's just all ready to go.
Man.
Yeah. He's like, gives you a shoe, like a beautiful long shoehorn that has like a horse jockey at the end of it, like one of those weird gnarled wood shoehorns. Oh, that's good stuff. But anyway, so I think, being gay and married would be fun. So, well,
they got to make that a category.
Yeah.
It would be like how they have the Amish foods in the market or whatever. It's like we got to bring gay married to the sort of,
but then there's also
the mainstream.
There's also lesbian married where you just have to agree to get 4 shelter dogs immediately.
Right. And a Jeep Wrangler.
Yeah. And they have 2 legs each
and an undershave.
Yeah. And bangs. Yeah.
Lesbian starter kit.
Oh my God. I hesitate to say the name because I feel it remember Brad Trackman, right?
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to talk about your lesbian friends. Because I was curious as to how they're doing. I think they got lesbian divorced.
Oh, which ones are these? There's
your hair.
Oh, yeah, Kate. No, they're doing great. Kate and Kelly.
Oh, they're back together?
Yeah, they just had a little hiccup.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like young. They're like young, cool gays. They're like young, cool lesbians.
Sure, okay. They're elastic.
Yeah, they're like, hey, so what? I fucking ate a little box. Big deal.
Yeah, okay.
They're like gay lesbians.
You're right. I love that. Anyways, Brad Trackman.
Yeah, Brad Trackman. Who? Because apparently he heard this the last time.
Well, this was years ago.
Yeah, but apparently not. And I'm afraid he'll call me again.
He sent you a cease and desist. Wait, he actually called you?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I didn't tell you this.
You did, but this was years. This was like
but
2018 or
something like that. Yeah. Okay. So just to recap, everybody. So Brad Trackman is he's a comic who I worked on a commercial with a long time ago. We're talking 20 years ago. I can't believe it's been that long, but something like that. Right. And we worked together and he lived in New York and, he did the clubs and, whatever. He's a comic. He's a touring comic. I mean, and, it's the comedy world is very small. Everybody knows everybody. So if I went to fucking, I don't know, my good friend TJ Miller, for example, and I said, hey, do you know Brad Trackman? He'd probably be like, yeah, I know Brad. Everyone knows everybody. So Brad years ago left New York and he moved to outside of Philadelphia, which is where I think his wife is from. His wife used to run Caroline's, which is a comedy club, which is no longer there. Okay. Yeah, she may have been the comedy director or something. She worked at Caroline's, whatever. So anyway, so they moved down there, and my understanding was he acquired a comedy school where you would go and you would learn how to do stand-up comedy from Brad Trackman, which I can't even say without laughing. But sorry, I just think it's a funny idea.
Yeah.
And the reason, number one, I do think that comedy school has a lot of value because I think fundamentally it's good to people that do it, they do it to learn how to speak in front of other people.
Right. Like I think it's also good for networking though, too, because then you kind of have your class.
Yeah, but
then people go out and do other things, and then you can sort of cross promote.
It could be a jumping off point, but it also could be the kind of thing where, oh fuck, I have to give a best man speech in 8 months. I'll take Brad Trackman's comedy class or whatever it is. So I thought it was a funny idea. The idea that like you could do like a crowd work intensive. And I, for some reason, now it doesn't seem as funny to me, just maybe because Brad called me and yelled at me. But like, I thought the idea would be funny that like, you're taking, because anybody who's really funny doesn't go to comedy college or whatever you want to call it. Having said that, maybe people did go and then they realize they're funny, but they don't. I don't know. The idea, it's just a thing. I can see doing like sketch comedy classes, but like having somebody walk in the room and with like a squirting flower, like kind of like Krusty the Clown College, that kind of thing. I don't know. It tickled me for some reason. So I used to joke about it periodically. And one day my phone rings and I just pick it up. And
it's angry Brad.
And it's Brad Trackman. And the worst part about it was it would have been better because I felt badly because you get on these shows and you just talk bullshit and whatever, who cares? Like, but it would have been better if Brad was like, listen, fucker, like stop it. Yeah. But he was like, listen, this is how, because he's very soft spoken and he's a very like sweet guy, and he was like, listen, like I have a family, this is how I make money. Like I know that you think maybe I'm a blah, and he made me feel really badly. And I was like, Brad, can we please stop talking? I'm really
wait. Nothing you said would have hurt his business, though.
No, but it was the fact. Number one, I was amazed that it got back to him.
Yeah.
And number two, it was like I was shitting on him because I guess I was shitting on him a little bit. I was shitting on the idea of living in Philadelphia and running like a comedy college or comedy school or whatever it is, like and going over people's material and things like that.
Which in theory sounds sad, but I mean, if you compare it to like a 9 to 5, listen,
I will tell you this. I know how much money, he didn't tell me, but I know how much money, like there's a lot of money to be made in running. Cause it's like, imagine you got a 6-week class and you have 30 people that take it and they're each paying $500. I mean, that's real money. I mean, and
those, I mean, there used to be one at, I'm sure it's still there, but I'm not there anymore, at Comic Strip, where like DF Sweedler, that guy, he was always teaching a class and it was full. It would always be full.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what they charge, but probably more since it's at an actual comedy club where Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah, I mean, exactly.
Started.
So it's a viable way to make a living, and who am I and blah blah. I get all of it, but to have somebody call you on the phone and be like, listen, this is what I'm sorry that I'm not more successful. I'm like, Jesus Christ, Brad, stop.
Yeah, he came at it in a very rational way where it's like, which kind of cuts deeper than just being like, you know what, you're a cunt.
Yeah, 100%.
And you're a fucking
like
washed up nobody or whatever.
Yes,
You know
I would have loved that if that was what it was.
You would prefer that because it's easier.
Not because and so anyway, so we, not that there was even a beef. I just said, look, Brad, I'm sorry. I just, your name just, somebody that I know and your name came up. I'm sorry. I like fell over myself apologizing and just, and because I don't wish the guy any ill will at all. It was a comedy club classes in Philadelphia. Sorry. I thought it was funny. I still think it's kind of funny.
There's something kind of funny. Yes, it's kind of funny.
Yeah, like, are your jokes about the Liberty Bell or Ben Franklin?
The only thing funnier than comedy classes is comedy boot camp.
Oh,
that's a thing.
Is that
comedy boot or was a thing?
What do you do there?
Fucking drop and give me
20 dick jokes,
right? 20 references to 80s movies. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. It was a thing that there's this guy. I want to say it was a Kyle Cease thing who is now like, who is now like an inspiration or
oh god,
not he's like
go ahead, like a
motivational speaker,
like a life coach kind of thing.
Yeah, he's more that, like he's like a funny life coach.
You ever met a life coach who every time I've met anyone, I know a couple of people in my life that are like life coaches and their lives are absolute train wrecks.
I had a client that was a life coach and she was very disorganized, very bad at communicating. Like she was bad at everything you would want to be if you were a life. I can't. So I can't help but agree with you.
Maybe they're the best life coaches because they're like, do as I say, not as I do.
Maybe
you're like,
this is maybe they're a cautionary tale.
They're like, just look at my life. Part of the life coaching is they just kind of they come in and go through like your bedside drawer.
Sure.
And you're like, why do you have tickets to Mo and Me, the ET knockoff? Anyway, so Brad, the reason why I brought it up is because recently I'm on Facebook with Brad and Brad posted the new Ellen DeGeneres special.
Yes, I saw little tidbits of it. Yeah. What the fuck is going on with that? It looked like a crazy gaslighting.
Yeah.
Because it was like her on stage being like, I'm sorry, I'm an assertive, unapologetic woman in show business. So
Sorry,
I'm
married to the hottest woman in the world. Arrested Development. Ever heard of it?
Right. Oh, yeah. Right. Portia de Rossi.
Yeah.
So that from the promo, it looked like an entire room of people just being gaslit. Yeah. But I don't.
And I also like, she's another one where it's like she's worth like easily $100 million. Like just fucking go home.
But did she get she claimed she got kicked out of show business?
Well, she wasn't really in show business. I mean, she had her show, but that wasn't like she was making movies. I mean, she's had a big career.
Right.
But
you danced you danced for scrapbooking groups.
Yeah. That's the whole. Yeah, they would
secretaries,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, they'd bus them in from the Universal tour in Hollywood and fucking they'd watch Ellen. And,
so it's not really. And I think it was maybe like a contract they didn't re-up or something like that.
Well, she was
because she's like a monster.
Yeah, apparently she was really mean to everybody, which everyone's mean to everybody. I mean. That's kind of what it is.
Yeah, I don't think on it. I think she took it on a.
I agree.
Yeah, but to a larger scale.
Listen, whatever it is, I don't lose any sleep worrying about whether or not Ellen DeGeneres is like in or out of show business anymore. I mean, it's
just wild that, like you said, she's worth hundreds of millions of dollars.
But she's got
it. But she still can't just go out without getting sort of the last.
Yeah, it's
jab.
Yeah. It's like the Maya Rudolph thing. It's like, can't you just can you just take a break? Can you just let somebody else have a little of something, like,
yeah.
Anyway.
Well, listen, we're
going to jump
over. We got to
over.
go behind the beaded curtain.
Right,
quick plug as we're outroing. If you want to become a member, click on that little,
it happens right now. All you do is
you
join right now. And I know it's we're doing a Wednesday show. Next week, we'll have another Friday show. So we're back.
Oh, yeah. We got a guest next week.
We do.
Is James Camacho.
James Camacho.
Comedian James Camacho. He lives right down the street.
Yeah, does he? Okay.
So I said, you ought to come on over.
I wonder if he goes to Agata and buys those shelled pistachios.
I took his comedy class. I graduated from his comedy class. Could you imagine this whole time? I'm like,
you have a PhD in crowd work.
Right.
Exactly.
I graduated from the James Camacho School of Mixed Race Comedy.
I've been trying to. Exactly.
Even though I'm.
Yeah, I know. Right. Exactly. Mulatto. Don't mind if I do.
I'm like, I had a. I had a grandfather that was
German and Irish.
1/32 Cherokee.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, how you doing?
I'm not sure if it was a Grand or a Jeep. Grand or a Wrangler?
No, it's good.
Wait, no.
What do you wear? Were you jeans or something? Go ahead.
Yeah, Grand or regular. There's Grand or a regular.
Boys
right?
Husky.
Yeah.
But I wanted to say, remember, guys, if you happen to be in New York, October 28th, Laugh for Sight, LAUGHFORSIGHT. You can just Google search it. I don't know. Come. Its tickets are going. It's TJ Miller, Michael Vecchione, Katie Hannigan. Thank you. Adam Ferrara, Caitlyn Jenner is going to be there.
Caitlyn something or other.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm late, everybody. My dick got caught in a car door. And then that's the show. So that's October 28th. And it was funny because, and of course, Brian Fischler he does stand up at the thing. I'm actually going to see Brian tonight for dinner. But he is. I always thought it'd be funny to do like blind crowd work. So you're standing on stage and you're like, is anyone wearing a stupid shirt?
Yeah.
Yes.
Somebody describe him for what are you wearing?
Does anybody here have like a funny smile?
That could be that could be funny.
Yeah. Hey, nice smile. What is your last name? O'Lantern?
Yeah.
Like a jack-o'-lantern?
Sure.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to jump over to the other show. Thank you very much. Patreon, there's the wrestling thing and a bunch of other bullshit. And we will see you next Friday with James Macho Camacho.
Become a member. Yep. We'll see you behind the beaded curtain.
Bye.